I got to play the demo for Cleared Hot, which is an homage to one of my favorite game series growing up, the Strike series, starting with Desert Strike in 1992. I played these games on the Sega Genesis back in the day, and Cleared Hot is basically a spiritual successor to the original franchise, taking that top-down helicopter combat experience and pushing it further and updating it for the modern gamer, and they've done a fantastic job. A demo of this game is going to be available to play on Steam starting June 6th, and I'll put some links and stuff like that in the video description. This is not a sponsored video, but I will say I do know the developer behind this game. I found out about Cleared Hot because I was quite literally just Googling to see if anybody had made a remaster of the Strike series. And I found Colin, who at the time was more or less a solo developer putting together his project. He's since partnered with Microprose to publish the game, and now I think he's got a pretty healthy little dev team to basically get this project across the finish line. And watching the progress that he and his team have been making over the past few years has just been a pleasure. And I've also had the opportunity to be a bit of a play tester for the game and give Colin some feedback along the way. Now, one of the more charming characteristics of this game is that it's not afraid to have you do some funny, silly stuff along the way. It's not just gung-ho military the whole way through. Your character actually plays a washed out or retired military veteran who happens to get ownership of a Little Bird helicopter. You start running little odd jobs around the desert for random people and somehow get sucked into some bigger conflict along the way. It's very tongue-in-cheek, and a lot of the comms dialogue is very funny as well.
They got a jet, man.
What? There's no way.
I know what a jet looks like, Michael.
Mike,
My last run-in with one of these was no bueno.
just stay calm and finish the job, all right?
Now, the Next Fest demo of the game walks you through a pretty small slice. Basically, it gives you an introductory military mission where you're flying an Apache helicopter during a military operation. It gives you a little bit of backstory to how you ended up here. And then your first few missions after that, you acquire a Little Bird and kind of learn the basics of flying and getting armed and stuff like that. The demo doesn't let you progress into sort of the bigger concept of the game, which is going to be 8 different helicopters that you'll be able to fly, custom unlocks for the helicopters that you can equip depending on the mission that you're about to fly. There's all kinds of different biomes. Here we're flying in the desert, but they also have jungle planned, an urban biome, island biome, Arctic. There's a lot of cool stuff coming in this game, and I sort of wanted to mention it because the demo is such a small snippet. You might not understand that there's a lot more scope and things planned out. One of the bigger evolutions that Cleared Hot brings to the overall concept is fun with physics. Basically, we've got a physics engine running in the background, and your helicopter can now pick things up and toss them around, which leads to all kinds of mayhem and fun, especially in some of the missions where you're not given a weapon. And you got to figure out how to kill your enemies using your hook and physics. There's all kinds of creativity there, and that just adds a huge amount to the game. I was actually just enjoying picking up things and putting them places. It sort of makes you feel like you're just a helicopter pilot moving things around quickly and efficiently, and then you also get roped into combat. One of the more fun evolutions to this game that I've been able to watch as they progress is just making the world feel much more interactable. Everything's kind of physicalized. There's so much stuff for the helicopter to pick up and work with, and all kinds of different ways for the enemies to die, whether it's through AoE from a local explosion, something dropping on them, you shooting them with your helicopter bullets, which I guess would be the more traditional way. But they've done a really good job of turning the game into kind of a playground, a sandbox-like experience, and it just works so well. And just like the Strike games, there's pickups around the map for repairs and more ammo. The original games seem to have a lot more fuel reliance. I'm happy that this game doesn't seem to have fuel mechanics, at least not that I'm aware of yet. And the thing that's sort of not available in the demo, and I've gotten to see a tiny little snippet of behind the scenes, is being able to customize your helicopter, adding on different weapons and different upgrades to it to cater it to the missions. I see there being a lot of fun there and sort of customizing your style, so to speak. Now, obviously, this game is going to appeal first and foremost to fans of the classic Strike series. If you were a gamer back in the 90s and you played them, this should be right up your alley. It's certainly what attracted me to the game in the first place, but also the controls are very accessible. The gameplay is fun. I imagine this hitting a much wider audience as well. It's cool because the old Strike games are so old that it's hard to recommend somebody going back to play them, and now I can just say, oh, go play Cleared Hot. That's kind of like what the old classic Strike games were like, and it's just better and more fun. If you guys want to check out the demo for yourself, again, you can find the Steam page for this in the video description, and I think the demo is going live on the 6th. I will be eagerly awaiting the full release of this game so that we can progress through all the different missions and helicopters and upgrade paths that I am really looking forward to. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Cleared Hot. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more content like it, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.